Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Gardening Talks featuring Garden with Her. Today, we have with us a set of frequently asked questions about vegetable gardening. And to answer them for us, we have Miss Raksha Agrawal joining us today. Hello, Raksha, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm good. Welcome to the Gardening Talks with Tyos.
Pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you with us every time. So, Raksha is a pro in growing and harvesting vegetables. She has, a variety of vegetables growing in her home, on her terrace garden. And if you haven't checked out her Instagram page, you must go and, see her Instagram handle is Garden with Her. If you need inspiration to grow vegetables, she is the one to follow. So, tell us a little about yourself, Raksha, your gardening journey, how it started, when it started.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Raksha Agarwal, and I'm a serious student and a passionate gardener as well. I started my gardening journey back in 2020 when the whole world was in lockdown. So it started like a gardening activity, just a normal activity, just to spend the time at that particular stage of life where we all were looking for something to do. So yeah, it turned into my passion as soon as I started gardening. It turned into my hobby, or you can say something that I really look forward for doing every day, because it has given me so much peace, so much confidence in myself. Because plants are just magical. I can't even begin like how much they have helped me grow as a person and have patience and keep myself calm. So
Amazing.
it was a journey full of ups and downs, and there were so many failures, there were so many successes. I've learned everything through my experience, from growing vegetables, from growing water plants, as you can see here, and indoor plants as well. Everything is just, it's just going on right now, and I don't think it's ever gonna end, because plants are just love. Like, I can't get enough of them. For vegetables, like, I have grown bitter gourds, various kinds of gourds actually, tomatoes from kitchen seeds as well, from the seeds that I bought from market as well. They were huge successes. I had a lot of organic harvest from my garden, and it was such a bliss. It was so much healthy and pure, as you all know. So it was such a beautiful journey, and I'm here to share my journey with you guys and answer your questions for the vegetables and many much more.
Wow, amazing, Raksha. So yeah, as we all know that you have a variety of vegetables, and the way you show them on Instagram, it's just amazing to see how much harvest you get from your homegrown plants.
Yeah.
So let's take our first question. These are the questions that frequently people want to know.
Okay.
People struggle with these kind of problems, so we thought you were the best person to answer these questions for us.
Yeah,
So our
I'll
first
try my
question,
best.
sure. So first is how to grow vegetables from seeds.
Okay, how to grow vegetables from seeds? It's a it's such a good question, because it's like the basic of gardening. You need to have good quality seeds. Yeah, you heard it right. Seeds are very much important for growing a healthy plant and to get a bulk harvest. You can purchase the seeds from the market, or you can use the seeds from the most ripe vegetable from your kitchen. Take those seeds out, dry them out, and then plant them in the soil. You can use seeds of various kinds of vegetables like tomatoes, cucumbers, etc. You can take the vegetables from your garden, but these should be most ripe ones. They show great results, like free of cost free. Secondly, the most important thing for growing seeds, most of the people complain that my seeds are not germinating. The
Mhm.
the most important factor that plays a role in germinating a seed is the season or the weather. Like, if there is not a season of growing a particular vegetable, the seed will not germinate. So you should know the season of the vegetable, like whatever vegetable you are growing, be it winter vegetable, summer vegetable, monsoon vegetables, etc. You should know when to plant the seeds, otherwise they will not germinate. Okay. The third factor that is very much important is sunlight. Yes, sunlight plays a really, really important role in germinating your seeds. Otherwise, the seeds will be leggy and weak, and they will not turn into a healthy plant, which will give you a lot of harvest. You need to give them ample of sunlight. Along with the sunlight, they need to rest for certain hours also. So you should make sure that the whole day they get the sunlight, direct sunlight or indirect sunlight, depending upon the vegetable seed, and then you can place them in such uh, position or place where they can get their requirements fulfilled. Third
So
thing
this
is,
sunlight, sorry to interrupt you here. This sunlight factor that you've mentioned, this is for germinating the seed, or is it for the plant to grow after the plant is, the seed has germinated and the plant is up? It is for that.
sunlight is important for the whole process from the seed to getting the harvest, because sunlight is the main source of photosynthesis through which the plant turns the sunlight, water, etc. into food. So
Hmm.
sunlight is required all throughout the process of growing a plant, and therefore sunlight is a must. If you will ask me which vegetables to grow without sunlight, I will not have an answer, because plants do not grow without sunlight. In that case, you need to have grow lights that are available on certain websites. But I will recommend, choose a place, a balcony, terrace, or your veranda where you get ample of sunlight to grow your vegetables, especially in the case of vegetables. They require a lot of amount of sunlight.
Okay. So normally we hear that when we sow the seeds in the soil, it should be kept in a shady and warm area. So is it the same for the vegetables?
Yeah, some seeds require, a certain amount of temperature to grow into. So in
Okay.
that case, you can prefer the shady areas, but there is certain amount of sunlight that it will need to in order to grow. Maybe less, more, or maybe direct sunlight throughout the day. It depends upon the variety of vegetable you're growing or the kind of seed you're growing. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, sunlight is a must.
Okay.
So one more thing about growing seeds is that you need to have a fresh soil mixture. In why I'm recommending a fresh soil mixture, do not use the garden soil that you have already used for other plants, or any other soil in which you have already planted any kind of plant and then now you're reusing it. Why so? Because fresh soil mixture ensures that your seedling will grow disease free, and since you're harvesting the vegetables and eating those vegetables, it's very much required that you use a healthy soil mixture just for your seeds. You can use the garden soil for transplanting your seedlings afterwards, but a fresh soil mix is something which I'll highly recommend for growing your seeds, and they help a lot in your plants. You can grow seeds in any kinds of containers, but they should be 2 to 3 inches deep. Any kinds of containers like seedling trays, or maybe you have some tiffin containers from your that you can reuse from your kitchen, etc. It largely depends what kind of temperature, what kind of water, what kind of sunlight, or with how much amount of sunlight you're giving to your seeds. That will help it to germinate, not the size of the containers or what kind of containers you are using.
Okay. So shall we move on to our next question?
Sure.
Okay. So how to grow vegetables in pots at home?
Okay. So normally the vegetables are really fuss free. It doesn't depend upon the kind of containers you're using, but the main thing here is to keep in mind that the bigger the container, the more healthily the plant will grow, because the plant requires its roots to be, expanded in the soil, or they grow in the soil. They require certain amount of space. They require certain amount of height to grow their roots healthily. Therefore, the size of the containers matter. I will highly recommend grow bags for it, maybe 12 to 18 inches long or deep grow bags and 10 inches wide grow bags, because these grow bags are actually very helpful. They're very deep, they're cost effective, and they are the best for growing vegetables. You can also use any kinds of pots or planters that are big enough for growing a vegetable. I will just recommend that whatever kind of container you are using, make sure it has drainage holes. If your container doesn't have drainage holes, it will ruin any kind of vegetable you're growing, because drainage holes let the extra water pass out from them. Uh, Otherwise, the roots will rot. The vegetable you're growing, its roots will rot if you don't have a drainage hole because of the water logging. So yeah, any kind of planters you can use, any kinds of containers you can use. Again, it largely depends on the kind of vegetable you're growing. Say if you're growing coriander or spinach, you need a wide container. But if you're growing gourds or brinjals, etc., they need deep containers. So it largely depends upon the kind of vegetable you're growing. But again, they should be big enough. The bigger the pot, the better or healthy the plant will grow and give you a bulk harvest.
Oh, okay, lovely. That was a very, you know, oh, I'm falling short of words here. A very precise and very good answer. So let's move on to our next question: how to grow vegetables at home in summer. Yeah, summer is a tricky time where, where a lot of plants die and all. So people want to know this.
Okay, so for me, summers are the best for growing vegetables, because at that time you get a lot of sunlight, direct sunlight, and
Mhm.
your vegetable plants love sunlight. They just adore it so much. They give you bulk harvest, a lot of harvest, just because of the sunlight they're getting. First of all, that for growing vegetables in summers, you need to take care that you are growing this vegetables that are suitable for growing in summers, like brinjals, bottle gourd, zucchini, etc., okra, tomatoes, cucumbers, bitter gourds, etc. So first choose your vegetable. What kind of vegetable you are growing? It should be a summer vegetable. That's the first point and foremost requirement for growing a vegetable, right? Secondly, what you need to do, since your soil dries out very quickly in summer because of the high amount of evaporation that is going on, you need to keep the soil moist, not very soggy, not very dry, but moist, that it sticks to your finger. In order to keep your soil moist, you need to at least water your plants twice a day. Again, it depends upon the container you are using. If it is in a bed, it will evaporate. The water will evaporate very quickly. But if it is say, a big container with very compact space, the water will evaporate very slowly. In that case, you need to check that whether your soil is moist or is it soggy. If it is moist already, you don't need to water. If it is completely dried out, then you need to water it again in order to keep it moist, because your summer vegetables love moist soil. They will not grow if you will not give it ample amount of water, ample amount of sunlight, right? The most important trick that I'm going to give you for summers, in case your plants are burning and they're suffering from extreme heat, is that you sprinkle some water on the plants. Whenever you're watering your plants, be it in morning or be it in evening or maybe in the afternoon as well, just spray some water on the leaves of your vegetable plants, so that your plants need to cool off, and they will love that, because if their leaves are burning, they will stop burning. If they're not if they're getting too much amount of heat, the water will help them to cool down. So always sprinkle some water, but don't overdo it. If you overdo it and the plant and if the leaves store that water on them, then it will attract pests. So make sure if you're sprinkling water, it should just be the right amount, that it gets evaporated till night maybe, or maybe in the morning. But your leaves need to be dried off. Okay.
Okay.
Also, one more tip that I'm going to give for summers is always water your plants early in the morning or in the evening, because what happens when you water your plants in the morning? They have the whole day. They can pass the whole day without suffering from extreme heat because the roots will start taking the water early in the morning and it will go on through the day. But if you water your plants in the afternoon, the water will just quickly evaporate and the plants will not. They are at the same time they're suffering from extreme heat and also they're getting the water. So just to make them relax, water them in the evening or in the morning as it is suitable to you or at both times as required.
Okay, so in the beginning, you were saying that we have to pick up the vegetables that grow well in summer. So, when
Yeah.
do you suggest we should start sowing them?
Okay, so the best time for sowing your summer seeds is February to March because just plant your seeds in February to March, around March, April, or May. They will start germinating. Sow the seeds in February or March, and they will start germinating around April and May. In April and May, you will get they will grow into bigger plants or bigger vines like vines of bottle gourd, bitter gourd, pumpkins, watermelons, etc. So, it's very important that you sow the seeds in February or March because the temperature at that time is just the right kind of temperature for the seeds to germinate. If you start late, you will suffer from, failure or you will your seeds will not germinate and they will not turn into healthy plants.
Okay. And by June, they will start giving you harvest?
Yeah, April, May, and June, all the 3 months, you will get ample amount of harvest, big harvest. But you need to start germinating the seeds at the right amount of time. Sow the seeds in February or March.
Okay. Okay, let's go on to our next question. How to grow vegetables for seeds?
Okay. You mean like how to grow the seeds from the vegetables, right? I have already
Yes.
answered.
Yes, I think
Okay.
that's what it means.
Okay. So, how to grow seeds from the vegetable? It's like the most fun part of growing a vegetable.
Hmm.
What happens is most of the people don't know that you can always harvest seeds from any kind of vegetables you're growing. You can store those seeds for your next season, and you have, the most amazing seeds, most healthy seeds readily available for the next season. How to do it? What happens once your plant starts growing, starts giving you harvest, like say suppose brinjal is starting giving you a lot of harvest. Once the plant is done for from giving you harvest, then what happens is the plant will focus its energy on growing seeds. Say in case of spinach, after harvesting like 3 to 4 times, the plant will start focusing on producing flowers. Those flowers will then turn into seeds. Now, what you can do, let those seeds, grow properly on the plant. Let them dry off on the plant, and then you just harvest those seeds, cut the seeds, and save it for your next season. Or in case of other plants, like say for brinjal or say for cucumber, or you can say for bitter gourd, what you can do, let the fruit, say bitter gourd, get ripe on the plant itself. Let it ripe, let it turn orange on the plant itself. Once it gets orange or get fully ripe on the vine itself, then pluck the pluck the fruit, take out the seeds, let them dry off for a week, and then you save those seeds for the next season. And then you can again use those seeds to plant or grow a new vine or new vegetable. So this is the best method. Let the plant give you harvest for as many times as it want to give. Then let it focus its energy as the season of that particular vegetable passes or starts to change. The plant shifts its energy on growing the seeds, and then at that time you can get the seeds as well. So harvest seeds as well. Get the harvest of vegetables, then you get the harvest of seeds as well.
Okay, wow. Well, that's wonderful. That's a cycle of a plant.
Yeah,
Okay, so how long do these seeds stay?
it depends. If you save the seeds, make sure they're very dried out, or they have no amount of moisture left in them.
Moisture. Yeah.
If the moisture is there, then they will rot
Mm-hmm.
after a certain period of time. If they have dried out completely, use it for 1, 2 years, 3 years. Again, the next year you will get a new harvest. Use those new seeds, healthy seeds. Uh, it will, you can use those seeds year round, maybe for 2 years, 3 years. I've used it myself. I've harvested so many seeds from different vegetables, spinach, tomatoes, bitter gourds, cucumbers, etc. I try that I get the seeds as much as possible, because once the healthy plant grows in my garden, I, strive for getting any kinds of seeds that I'm getting from that plant, because they are the most healthy seeds from the most healthy plant.
Yes, absolutely. So these seeds gets keep multiplying then.
Yeah, as soon as the season passes, I collect the seeds. Then again, next season, I collect the seeds. I
Mm-hmm.
have like so many seeds with me right now that I don't need to purchase it from market. I just use either the kitchen seeds or the seeds that I've already harvested from the healthy plant.
Amazing. So storing them in just airtight pouches is
Yeah,
enough.
airtight plastic bags, or you
Hmm.
can use the containers which are airtight.
Okay.
Maybe some amount of air can pass through, but it is highly recommended that you use the airtight containers or airtight bags.
Okay. Lovely. So moving on to our last question for today. What vegetables we can plant now in this
Okay.
month?
So, as the summer has passed already, monsoons have started. They are also about to end, and the winters are starting. This is the month of August. This is like the best season for growing so many vegetables like brinjals, zucchinis, bottle gourd. You can go for tomatoes, okras, chilies. Um, Again, any kind of gourds you can grow. You can even grow radishes, lettuce, broccoli, cauliflowers, because the temperature has now started to cool off. So you can also start your some of your winter vegetables as well, just like broccoli, cauliflowers, cabbage, etc. It also depends highly where you stay, like if you're in North India or if you are in South India, depending upon the temperature there. But as the season is starting to get little cool, you can plant the winter vegetables. You can start off with the winter vegetables or the vegetables which require little amount of, uh, calm temperature or cool down temperature. Because say in Rajasthan where I'm staying, there had been like extreme heat. Now the vegetables require some cool off temperatures like 27 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius, or maybe less than 25 degrees Celsius. For example, chilies, they don't grow in extreme heats. They require cooler temperatures. Or you can grow tomatoes, which require a little less hot temperatures. So you can start off vegetables according to the temperature in your area or the season which is going on. But I will highly recommend go for tomatoes, go for okras, chilies, zucchinis. You can go for brinjals right now, because they are the easiest vegetables to grow.
Okay. So throwing a little light on this same subject, can you tell us what vegetables have you started sowing now, depending on your area, your zone, and your climate and temperature?
So right now I have sown some chili seeds, because chilies like are the big challenge for me, because they don't grow in extreme heat temperatures or hot temperatures, just like in Rajasthan. So first of all, I've planted so many chili seeds. Secondly, I've planted tomato seeds. My brinjals are also growing. Brinjals are perennials. They go for all around the year, so they will give me lots and lots of brinjals. Last year, only I've harvested so many brinjals that I couldn't even decide where to use those brinjals. I had to distribute it to the neighbors and friends, etc. So yeah, brinjals are one of them. Then I have some gourds also growing, like bottle gourds. Right now, rich gourd is the start. I have some already harvested rich gourds with me, as you can see.
Wow.
So these are
Very
all
present,
homegrown
lovely.
and they're all organic. No kind of chemicals or pesticides are used on them. They are just homegrown and they're so sweet. You can easily distinguish the vegetables that you have grown at home from the vegetables you have purchased from market, because the vegetables that you have grown at home, they're so sweet, they're so tasty, and they're completely organic and healthy. And the vegetables that you generally purchase from the market, they have those medicines injected in them,
Yes,
and they're unhealthy. So I highly prefer grow your own vegetables. It's literally very easy, apart from dealing with the pests, because the vegetables highly attract the pest, all kinds of pests. You just need to be careful, you just need to be diligent, like uh, that your vegetable is not getting any kind of pest. It is impeccable or inevitable that your vegetables will not catch a pest. So always use neem oil solution or some kind of mild soap solution for it. But don't use any chemicals. They are easy to grow. You have sunlight, you have water, you have right kind of soil, you have right kind of containers. Why don't you do it? Like it gives you a lot of peace. Vegetable growing is something which is literally very close to my heart. I have been experimenting with so many different kinds of plants, but vegetables are just my favorite to grow, because seeing them grow in front of your eyes from just a seed to literally, those big size vegetables. For example, bottle gourds. The last time I've harvested bottle gourds of this size,
wow.
and they were so tasty. They were so amazing. Everyone around my neighborhood kept asking me, "How did you do it? How did you do it?" You can find all answers to your questions. Just visit my channel. Get the seeds from a portable organic store, because they sell really good quality seeds. I've already purchased it for myself. You can do it as well. Just subscribe to Affordable Organic Store channel. And you can also visit Garden with Her for my tips and tricks, as Zara has already said. So start it now.
Okay, thank you so much, Raksha, for the detailed explanation and very beautiful answers to all the questions. I hope the audience have got all their answers. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. So,
Thank you
this was
so
our
much
last
for
question.
having me.
Most welcome. It was our pleasure. So, yeah, we'll see you around on Instagram for your beautiful harvests. And yeah, everybody watching us today, you can connect with Raksha on her Instagram page. The link is in the description box below. Her Instagram handle is Garden with Her. She shares all the, process of right from sowing till harvesting, and in a very simple and beautiful way. It looks so simple that everybody would get motivated to start growing vegetables. And if you
That's
have
the goal.
any further questions, you're most welcome to contact her personally on her Instagram handle, and she would love to answer them for you. So this
Thank
brings us
you.
to the end of this session today. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you so much, Raksha, once again.
My pleasure. It's always so good to be here and answering the questions.
Yeah, it just feels like we need to keep talking and talking. It's so lovely to hear you. You're so passionate, and we can see that when you talk. You talk with so much conviction and with some accuracy there is in your explanation, that it leaves no further questions or doubts.
Thank you so much. I try my best. Just share my experiences, and that's how it began.
Lovely, starting at this age, seeing you youngsters doing all this is so lovely.
Yeah, it's so much important for our environment that everyone should start at a very early age. I'm late. I try my niece start gardening. She always helps me. Please indulge your kids into gardening, because it's the best thing that you can do for them and
Yeah,
for our environment as well.
environment, and yeah, that's the most beautiful activity a child can indulge themselves into. Okay, so let's take a leave on this note now. Thank you, Raksha, once again, and we'll see you around with your beautiful garden.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.